If we can pry our eyeballs away from the debt ceiling debate, which apparently, according to mainstream media, we need to be focused and fearful of at every single waking second of our lives right now, if we can pry away for just a second, we might wonder, who the hell is this guy and why is his picture splashed across newspapers all over the world? Well, he is Sultan Al Jabbar. He is an oil executive, and he has been appointed to lead the UN climate change conference this fall in the United Arab Emirates. I'll just take a brief moment to let that sink in that the COP28 UN climate change conference has appointed an oil executive to be the leader guy there. All right, more than 130 members of our Congress in the US and the European Parliament are calling for his removal. Some of the leaders are concerned that public faith in the COP process would be eroded by having one of these guys responsible for a mass genocide and ecocide lead the process to stop the mass genocide and ecocide. I don't know. Admittedly, it's a bad look, but I find it unfortunate that they're only calling for his removal because of the look. They want people to trust this process. How are we going to trust this process? Last year, 600 lobbyists from different corporations were there, outnumbering the amount of delegates from nations. This is just insane. Okay. It pains me to tell you that John Kerry, our U.S. climate envoy, who I campaigned for back in the Beat W. Bush days, uh, he voiced his support for the appointment of this guy because he says that the guy had a 20-year career in the renewable energy space. He, Al Jabbar, is the chairman of Masdar, one of the world's largest renewable energy companies based in Abu Dhabi. That was after a long career in the fossil fuel industry. So, which is it? Did this guy work in fossil fuels and say, I see the light, our children are all going to die, I should move to renewables? I doubt it. These fossil fuel companies are aware that there is some money to be made in renewables, and that is why they're doing it, not out of the goodness and kindness and humanitarianness of their hearts. No. Sorry, a leader who is coming at these issues of climate change and climate catastrophe, the issue of basically saving humanity, a leader who is coming from an entire career that is about turning a profit is not the right guy for this job. If you're coming at it from a how do we make money standpoint, this guy is your guy. But if it's a how do we save human and animal kind standpoint, this is not the guy we need. And that's why this guy is wrong for the job. The Washington Post didn't mention that. I'm Julianna Forlano. If you like hearing these issues delivered the way I do it, subscribe here, turn on the bell, and you'll get more. Just want to say these friggin' COP meetings are more like cop out meetings. At COP27 last year in Egypt, a country that, due to deforestation and lifetimes of land overuse, has fallen prey to desertification and is in really tough shape, the likes of which I hope we don't see again. But according to my Magic 8 climate change ball, signs point to yes. Anyway, at COP Out 27, the only agreement made there was that richer, more polluting countries should pay restitution for damage caused to island nations and nations that are more vulnerable. That's like saying, yeah, we're going to continue to massacre your children, but then we'll give you some money to cover it. Are we good? We're good, right? Are we good? Seriously, this attitude is sociopathic. It is my grand desire that at some point, a majority of people in power will be those who understand that there are things more valuable than money and who actually work to protect them. We shall see. Plus, oil companies don't even have enough money to cover not just countries, but oil companies. A new study said that the world's top fossil fuel companies owe at least 209 billion in annual climate reparations to compensate communities damaged by their polluting business and their also decades of lies. That's a new study. BP, Shell, Exxon, Total, which is Saudi Arabia's state oil company, and Chevron are among the largest 21 polluters, responsible for $5.4 trillion in drought, wildfires, sea level rise, and melting glaciers and other climate catastrophes that are happening now and expected between 2025 and 2050. This is a groundbreaking analysis that everyone wanted to stop because nobody actually wanted to pay the bill. They said, oh, we'll pay. But then, if there's no study, you don't know how much that's going to be. Here's a question. When will people destroyed by climate change show up at those oil company executive headquarters and ask to be made whole? When will the people of the wildfires burning out of control in the western states show up at Exxon? When will people in Canada show up at Chevron? This is what I want to know. They need to occupy the sidewalk in front of the friggin' company. Anyway, this is the first time, that study is the first time researchers, what it says here in The Guardian, here's the study right here, in case you don't believe me that it actually happened. But yeah, there's the money, there's the amount. It's the first time the researchers actually put a price on it. And, the study will be useful since those rich nations are supposed to pay according to COP27. Hey, wait a minute. They didn't say the oil companies will have to pay for it. COP27. The oil companies who owe climate reparations of $209 billion per year. They said you and I will have to pay for it. For what the oil companies did, COP27 agreed that you and I and taxpayers around the world are going to have to pay for it. Now, listen, this makes me think kind of like I can see like Republicans, how one might be mad about paying taxes if this is what the taxes are going for. But unlike Republicans who don't want any regulations to keep the oil industry from continuing to do things that are, murdering people, I think we should stop them and make them pay the reparations. Republicans, on the other hand, are happy to let the fossil fuel industry keep drill baby drilling because they don't give a flying F about island nations. Isn't that where the brown people live, in the island nations? Collective responsibility? No, we're the party of freedom to do whatever we want. And by the way, which party do you think it is that takes the most money from the oil and gas industry? That is correct. It is the Republican Party that historically been the greatest recipient of oil and gas lobbying expenditures in the US. That is from Statista. You can go look that up yourself. So I bring it back to the question that I asked last time. When we start talking into the Republicans' talking points, they believe they are the party of Christ. What would Jesus Christ do? Would he vote to destroy the world, lie about it, and then let the least of us pay for it? I don't think so. Again, the Republican Party is certainly not very pro the teachings of Christ in this case. They are, again, the Antichrist. Oh my gosh. I'm Julianna Forlano. You are listening to the Political Voices Network. If you like the way we talk here, please hit the bell and subscribe and share us with your friends and put us on your Facebook page until they tell you not to. Thanks for watching.